Our training camp tour on HQ continues. We make a stop in Florida. The Jags feeling pretty good about their squad because of their QB Trevor Lawrence. He engineered a second-half turnaround as the Jags ended the regular season with 5 straight wins and made a postseason appearance. Lawrence threw for over 4,000 yards passing and 25 TDs last season. He caught up with our Evan Washburn out in Jacksonville.
Well, Trevor, appreciate the time, as always. I want to start at the end of last year and the way things went in that final stretch of the regular season when you guys caught some momentum. What did you learn from that experience?
Yeah, I think we learned a lot about our team, kind of what we're made of. Obviously, things didn't go super smoothly at the beginning of the year, and just for us to be able to rally, when we weren't playing great, when we were 2-6 and then 4-8 at one point, and to be able to go on that streak, that winning streak at the end of the season to give us a chance to, to go to the playoffs, win a playoff game. Obviously came up short in KC, but to just have that experience, I think we learned a lot about ourselves, and obviously now we're just doing everything we can to get back and get that opportunity again.
Yeah, nothing carries over. Every year starts anew, but when you have a lot of continuity, especially on the offensive side of the ball, what do you hope you guys do take from that experience tangibly from a football sense?
There's so many things that happen through a season. There's all these experiences that you have, these moments that you remember with guys that you can draw back, or you can go back to from years prior, like last season. There'll be things that come up this season, whether it's a specific coverage that comes up or a route run against a certain technique or whatever it is, especially the guys that I've played with now for a year or more. We have that experience to fall back on, and we can talk about stuff like that. And I think we're just a couple steps ahead of where we were at this point in training camp last year.
You weave Calvin into the mix offensively. Where have you seen the most growth on that side of the ball?
Man, I mean, he just gives us another weapon. Just his threat on the outside can really run any route. He's a matchup against anyone. I'd put him up against anybody and feel confident in it. So just having that guy on the outside, obviously, and we got Zay and we got Christian and we got Evans, just having so many guys that can win, that are great matchups for us, and we can do so many different things with them. It's going to help us a lot. It's going to make it tougher on defenses, and then not even to mention our running game is really good, and we got a good stable of backs, and our O-line is nasty. They're doing a great job. So I feel really good about who we are, and we're still learning more. We're still getting better. Obviously, that's what camp's for, but I feel really good where we're at.
You mentioned getting better, and I'm always curious in the offseason on a personal note, what were some priorities for you? Because at this craft, it's not a situation even as well as you played at the end of last year where you're ever complacent.
Yeah, I think just, being in the system longer, there's things I learned throughout the year that I got better at. Reading different concepts, my progression, being quicker, taking a profit, getting to my checkdowns faster, all those things I think I got better at throughout the year, but that's definitely something I want to continue to get better at. I think there's a lot of room for improvement there, and that can help us out, staying on schedule offensively. And then just personally, I think some of my mechanics, my footwork, some of my throwing mechanics and my lean, all this different stuff that I kind of try to work on during the off season and try to get a little bigger, stronger. That's kind of always the goal, but so that was the main things.
How would you describe the relationship with your head coach, and obviously has an impact on the offense as well, Doug Pederson?
Great relationship. I just have a lot of respect for the way he handles himself, the way he carries his business, and the way he leads the team. I think he does a great job. And I'm looking back at our season last year. I think we got a good glimpse of who he is, because it's not like everything went smooth for us. We lost 5 games straight by 1 score, and just to see him be the same every day, I got a lot of respect for him and the way he leads us, and that's where it starts. You got to have a great head coach and a great leader, and he is that. And we have a great relationship. Obviously, he has a huge hand in the offense, and our dialogue is really great, and he's always open, to things that I have to say or opinions I may have.
Yeah, along that front, how much ownership do you have, or opinion do you have when you press and Doug and the staff are kind of putting together in the off season, but on a week-to-week basis, you think?
Yeah, there's things like, if I have certain ideas, I'm watching third down or I'm watching red zone, there's things I like. I'll go to them, we'll talk about it, we'll put it in, or, a lot of times I'll already have something similar to that, trying to attack the same thing. So we'll talk about it and decide what we like best. And, I have a lot of faith in them, so I trust them with a lot of things, but obviously we talk about the game plans pretty in depth, and I feel comfortable about everything that we're doing. And then, in the game, when you're actually playing and talking about like adjustments and audibles and checks and all that stuff, they pretty much give me all the freedom to get to whatever I want to get to. So, that's nice having, a staff and coaches that allow me to do that and have that faith in me. And that's something we got really good at, throughout the season last year.
Last couple for you, big picture, the AFC, the quarterback position. I know your focus is solely on your group, but as a fan of the game, how exciting is it to be a part of what feels like kind of, I don't know, as competitive, as talented a time as we've had at the quarterback position, especially in your conference?
It's great. You know, you got to go through the gauntlet to get to where we all want to get. You know, we all want to play in a Super Bowl, and that's our goal. And you got to beat the best. And those guys, obviously, you can name a ton of them: Joe, Patrick, Josh, Lamar. I mean, and even now Aaron. Like, there's a ton of guys, just to name a few. But it's fun. You know, it's fun, those matchups. You know, I always look at I never look at it me against them, because I'm not playing them. I got to play their defense. So that's not how I look at it. But it is fun getting to play against those guys and getting to match up, like whatever, you know, in Kansas City, getting to play Patrick or, you know, Justin Herbert. That's another one I didn't say. He's a baller too. But
it's hard to keep up with all of them.
Justin Herbert in the first round of the playoffs, like all these guys. It's fun getting to go, you know, head to head against those guys. And but obviously I'm really focused on our group. But like you said, there's a ton of great quarterbacks, and a lot of them are in the AFC.
And when you were coming up, I'm sure it's been asked, but who were the quarterbacks for you? Who were the guys you loved their game, maybe tried to, I don't know about model, but at least look at and think, I could maybe grab something there?
I mean, I've always said Peyton Manning's been my favorite player since, you know, I was a little kid. So that's a guy I watched a lot. Obviously, I watched Tom Brady a lot. It's hard to deny, you know, how good he is, or how great of a player he was. And then Aaron Rodgers was a guy I like to watch too. Just so fun to watch. He plays the position. He's in such a unique way. You know, it's kind of like now Patrick has his own like flair in the way he plays, and obviously he's unbelievable. But Aaron was kind of doing some of that stuff, you know, a long time ago before anyone was really doing it. And I think it's cool to watch Aaron and just how talented he is. And yeah, he's a great player.
Awesome, Trevor. We appreciate it, man.
Yes,
Good
sir.
luck this year.
Thank you. Appreciate y'all.
We saw a completely different Lawrence in the second half of the season. Most important are the wins, and they came in abundance. 7-2 over the last 9 games compared to just 2-6 over the first 8. But going deeper into the stats, you see the improvement. He cleaned up his touchdown to interception ratio and had the second best passer rating in the NFL over the last 9 games of the season at 104.6. Our HQ Camp Tour continues on August 8th. You got the New England Patriots. Then you follow that up on the 9th with the Broncos, and then the NFC champs, the Eagles, on August 14th.